Every day we wake up not knowing what day will be our last. It's quite terrifying when you think about it. All of the people on this list woke up not knowing that they would shortly die. From a picture of a man holding on for his dear life to a picture of a man hiking taken an hour before an avalanche killed him. I'll be discussing these and more only on today's top 10 list. Starting off this countdown, we have the Challenger. On January 28, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart during the flight. It happened only 73 seconds into the flight. This resulted in the death of all 7 crew members. This photo was taken moments before the crew boarded the space shuttle. Like, look how proud and happy they all look. Little did they know that that would be their last final moments, which is extremely depressing. The crew consisted of 5 NASA astronauts and 2 payload specialists. Basically, what happened was at 11:39 a.m., the shuttle started to break down over the Atlantic Ocean. It started because of a failure of the O-ring seal in the right solid rocket booster. From there, the right solid rocket booster failed during takeoff. Then the force of the takeoff basically caused the rocket to break apart. Now, it's thought that some crew survived the initial breakup, but the impact to the ocean surface would have killed them. In our 9th spot, we have William Sanders. And if you guys like this photo series, then make sure to check out all the other parts to it. William, or Dave Sanders, died a hero during the 1999 Columbine High School shooting. This teacher guided more than 100 students out of the cafeteria during the tragic event. So on April 20th of 1999, 2 high school students entered the Columbine High School with guns and took the lives of 12 students and 1 teacher. That 1 teacher being William Sanders. So when he first heard of the shootings, he entered the cafeteria and told everyone to leave at once. By the time the killers got to the cafeteria, it was almost empty. He saved hundreds of lives, but sadly he ended up being shot twice. Now, he did end up getting himself into a science lab where the students called 911 for help, but that help never arrived and he sadly didn't make it. This is the last photo taken of him. It was taken from CCTV footage in the cafeteria and shows him ushering students out. He died a hero. Coming in at number 8, we have the Uruguayan Flight 571. On October 13th, 1972, a rugby team along with some family and friends were flying to Chile for a team match when their plane crashed. This photo was taken before this crash. Some of the people in the photo didn't survive. Those that did suffered to survive 72 days in the Andes mountain. What's even worse, in order to survive, they had to eat their dead friends and family members. I can't imagine going through that. Like, what a terrible, terrible incident. In our 7th spot, we have the festival killings. The photo of this couple was taken in 2017 during the Route 21 Harvest Musical Festival in Las Vegas. It was taken right before a man took the lives of 60 people there, including Denise Bertitus, the woman in the photo. She was one of the victims who was shot and died on scene in the arms of her husband. On this day, more than 1,000 shots were fired. More than 800 people were injured. This photo breaks my heart. It was uploaded to Facebook and they look so happy. The first comment reads, "You too," with a heart. The next comment posted 8 hours later is someone asking if they were okay. Sadly, Denise wasn't. In our 6th spot, we have the avalanche. This photo is of a man who is out touring and skiing near a ski resort named Flüsserberg in Switzerland. About an hour later, he died in an avalanche. His wife, who took the photo, managed to survive. According to a post, the man was experienced in hiking mountains. He had previously climbed Mont Blanc. This day, he didn't bring his safety equipment with him because he thought it was only going to be a small hike. And he had hiked that route before. Sadly, this was his last time. They found him 3 hours later after the incident. His wife managed to escape, but the last thing she heard her husband say was, "Get away from me, save yourself," which is so heartbreaking. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Joseph Avery. In 1853, Joseph Avery went rafting on the Niagara River with his 2 friends. However, during the trip, the boat flipped. The current had been stronger than they anticipated. His 2 friends drowned, but Avery was a strong swimmer and managed to get a hold of a log that was wedged between 2 rocks. Avery was stuck there holding onto that log for 18 hours. It's because initially no one could hear his screams for help. When people did see him there, it took a while before a rescue went underway. This photo was taken by a bystander. You can see Avery holding onto the log for his life. Unfortunately, it was for nothing. When he got on the rescue boat, it capsized and Avery was swept over the falls. Like, imagine that, surviving for 18 hours, holding on for your dear life, and then when you finally think you're safe, you aren't. So sad. Moving on, number 4, we have Maksud Khan. Maksud Khan was a 20-year-old man that had a fascination with tigers. It all started back in the summer of 2014 during his first trip to the zoo. From there, he became fascinated with tigers and would often talk about them. From there, he would secretly visit the zoo to see the tigers. Sadly, this would lead to his death. In September of 2014, Khan visited the zoo again. This time, he wanted to get up close and personal with the tigers, so he crossed 3 safety barriers to get in. This was the last photo ever taken of him, before the tiger mauled him to death. It was taken by a stunned onlooker who saw the tiger paw at him before dragging his body around and then eating him. Coming in at number 3, we have Moira Smith. Officer Moira Smith is another individual on this list that died a hero. Moira was a police officer on scene during the 9/11 attacks. On this day, without hesitation, she went into the World Trade Center's South Tower and helped to evacuate people. This was the last photo taken of her. It's her alongside one of the victims that she had rescued. 10 minutes later, Moira re-entered the building to help more people escape. Unfortunately, the building collapsed on her. She was one of the 72 other law enforcement individuals who died on this day. May they all rest in peace. Moving on to number 2, we have Leonard Siflete. Leonard Siflete was an Australian soldier that fought during World War II. During this time, he was sent on a mission to Papua New Guinea. But during this mission, him and his partner were captured and handed over to the Japanese, who interrogated them and tortured them. Later, they would behead them. This is the last photo taken of Leonard. It was taken right before he was beheaded. The photo was later found on his partner's dead body. It's a very dark and gruesome photo. And in our number 1 spot, we have Nick and Jack Savage. On June 14th, 2015, mother Becky Savage lost not only 1, but 2 of her sons. A pain I can't even begin to imagine. So on that morning, she was picking up laundry from her son Jack's room when she found him unresponsive. The night before, it was their graduation party and they were hanging out with other friends. When she checked his pulse and found that he didn't have one, she started CPR immediately. Sadly, it was too late. He had passed away from an accidental overdose of oxycodone and alcohol. To her horror, her other son in the basement had also passed the same way. This was the last photo they ever took. It was the night of the graduation party, just hours before their accidental overdose. Okay guys, that was very emotional and hard, so let's move right along to our comment shout out portion. Let's try to, lift the spirits. Today I'll be shouting out comments from the video Top 10 Scariest Stories of 2020. I mean, it's not that uplifting, but we'll go with it. M commented, I'll be honest, this channel helped me through the scariest 2020 horror show. Well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Romkey commented, okay, why is this so underrated? I don't know. Go share it to your friends, to your aunt, to your uncle, to your grandma. Come on. Get us more attention. Turtles Feel Feelings commented, hi Lindsay, do you like jokes? If so, I have one for you. Yes, I love jokes. Okay, let's read this. What kind of eggs does an evil chicken lay? Deviled eggs. Okay, that's good. I really do like jokes, like corny jokes, so if you guys have any jokes, leave it in the comments below, and then maybe I'll read it out. There you go. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see ya when I see ya.